Welcome to Dodgers Dogs. As part of the Dodgers Daily Network, Casey Porter here, joined by sweet cup there, Coach Holt.
Baby.
We're gonna
roll.
we're gonna bring Coach Holt in on Tuesdays now instead of Wednesdays, and then as normal Fridays. Coach, I gotta say, man, this was first guessing. Sunday felt like the chance for the Dodgers to not necessarily turn the corner, but start turning the corner. It feels like they're doing that right now.
No, we talked about that case as we went into the series, that there was some things you're looking up. Of course, you couldn't tell by the first two games of the series. It went to hell in a handbasket as far as offensively, that sort of thing. But you still never felt like, that's Major League Baseball. It does happen to every team. So, but yeah, Sunday was a big shot in the arm for everyone. The Dodgers got a big win. San Diego avoided this sweep. And tied the division up, and then, of course, we're able to take the lead last night with a big win at Cincinnati. But Sunday, you still see, even though after we had talked, Friday, then we're all pissed off because Friday and Saturday we couldn't hit anything. But, it does happen. So, but I still never felt like yet, again, let's go back to sample size. Yeah, Friday and Saturday sucked. Let's see what happens moving forward, because we had made a big point to talk about what's happened in the past is the past. Who gives a shit? Be honest with you. So it's time to move forward, and we got past Friday and Saturday, and Sunday and Monday have looked pretty damn good.
They absolutely have, and it just kind of feels like, and of course I can't explain what feels like is, but it just kind of feels like last night was the Dodgers, not the final version that we want to see of this team. We want to see this team hit better. I mean, it took them forever on Sunday even to start hitting. And then last night, you only had one run through 4 innings. But it just felt like a little bit more complete, longer lineup. It felt like it was a little bit grittier at bats. It just felt more like what we expect to see from this Dodgers team moving forward. And again, you have basically a game-and-a-half lead on the Padres. The Padres, again, I'll say this. I really think that game on Sunday was a gut punch to them. I think last night the Dodgers beat the Padres twice.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So the Dodgers end up winning 9 of the 13 games this year, head-to-head against the Padres. You're right. They had a chance of at least them to get a little momentum with a 3-game sweep after the Dodgers had swept them the week before in L.A. But, yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of it's amazing out of 162 games. Sometimes we talk about how one game can get you back.
Yes.
But it does. It does. It works with hitters
and pitchers. One at bat, one pitch, one something, and it clicks.
Yeah, you got to. Dalton Rushing, how big a home run he had Sunday. Yeah. It was awesome for that young man. We know he's putting in the time and effort, and he saw the fruits of his labor come on Sunday with a huge, with a game tied, huge 3-run homer. And then last night Pajes with a couple. So we're seeing some stuff at the bottom of the order. I think Conforto had 2 hits last night. He still struck. August has not been kind to him as with his batting average, and the entire season hadn't. But August hadn't been. He had a good July, but August hadn't been good. But he went 2 for 4 last night. So maybe we'll see some upswing there. Don't know. Sample size is pretty big there. It may be what we get the entire year. That's for Dave and them to decide. But great last night. Sheehan was nails, unbelievable. Emmett Sheehan and for 7 innings and to save the bullpen and that moving forward. And I don't know, the last 2 games, you're right, though. Sunday was big, was huge for everybody.
Huge.
Mentally for the Dodgers and mentally for the Padres on the other side of the coin. But we know we're getting healthy. We know we got players coming. Kike, I guess, was active last night. He didn't play, but I did just read that Dave said he's going to start Tuesday, Wednesday. He don't know where, but he's going to start. That's where we are. We want that guy on the damn field, and Dave's going to get him on the field. Could see some outfield again for the left field. Been a little defensive problem in the right field. So Dave, that's Dave's job to come up. He knows what he's doing. He'll come up with a good place to plug in Kike, and it's getting Kike's time of year. The later on in the year, I know his batting average. He didn't have a great batting average, but we know what he brings in crunch time in those tough games, and that's where we are right now. We're in the playoff push, actually.
So the bullpen for the Dodgers, really, I don't think people understand how good the Dodgers bullpen has been, like, say, in the last month, maybe even longer than that. I don't have the exact timeline. But the Dodgers bullpen has been the second best bullpen in the National League, only behind the San Diego Padres. And a lot of that is 2 factors. One is the starting pitching. Don't look up now, but the starting pitchers for the Dodgers at the time where they really needed to, Sheehan went 7 last night. They're starting to create length. So anytime you have to cover less innings as a bullpen, that puts you in a position to actually perform better. We have seen that in the last month or so where the Dodgers starters have gone longer. That's helped the bullpen, and because of that, the bullpen has been fantastic. And another reason why is I think Dave's done a great job of mapping out the bullpen here in the last month or so.
There's no doubt about it. Him and all the entire staff, they're doing a great job of Mark Pryor and the whole crew of mapping out how they want to attack teams and use their bullpen. You're right. Kershaw's been giving us length in every one of his starts. He's been given length. All the starting pitchers have been getting some length. And like you said, it's common sense.
It seems like it's been a focus of Dave.
We're in the like I said, we're in the playoff push now. It's almost September. It's go time. That's what everybody knows. That the Dodgers are in it. The dog days of summer are gone. Hell, it's even 60 degrees and rainy in Oklahoma. Are you kidding me? After burning up all damn summer. So we know it's playoff season for us, Case, and everybody feels it. But no, they've done a great job of handling. But you got to give the starting pitchers credit for
no doubt
for having quality. They come out and lay a damn egg. They don't have any choices. Got to get them out. So that's a two-way street there. Dave's done a great job of mapping out, him and Mark Pryor mapping out these guys where we can save our bullpen as we get some of those guys back healthy with Scott and who's the other one?
Kirby Yates.
Kirby Yates, I kept wanting to say Estes. That ain't his damn name, which Yates, kind of similar. But anyway,
hopefully
we get those guys
Kopech
back
soon,
where you're able to start plugging them in where they don't have to come back and immediately start having to go 2 or 3 innings here and there. So it's working. You can see it. We know World Series are bust. That's the Dodgers. We know where they are. They won it all last year. They won 20 whatever. We know.
I'm not going to apologize for having that mentality, right?
No, hell no, hell no. No, and if you're a football coach at University of Alabama, that's it's a national championship or we suck. That's kind of where you go. That's the expectations, and we wouldn't have it any other way as fans. I'm sure the players wouldn't have it any other way either. If they've always got something to play for. Every pitch is important. Every day is important. Every inning, again, the next pitch is the most important pitch they're going to see. So it's a great thing to see. That you still get the feeling that the Dodgers are on that move or making that move. They're getting healthier. They're getting guys back. You're seeing some, Mookie's getting better and better. We're starting to see more and more of the real Mookie. Pa has had a kind of a down period, but he's kind of coming around a little bit. Coming back to
came around really good last night.
Yes, to what we need him to be. That's a pretty good. That first home run, kind of breaking pitch and whatever's kind of, that's showing a little something there. But we know he's been solid all year. He had a little down period, but everybody goes through that. Everybody that plays the game goes through that time. So right now, I'm like you. Even though we lost those first 2 at San Diego, I still never lost that feeling that where they're headed because we know they're getting healthier. We know there's still guys coming. Muncie's coming back next week, I think. If he's anywhere like he was before he got injured, he was playing great when he came back, defensively and offensively. You get Muncie back. I don't know about Edmund and Kim when we'll get them back, Kopech, all those guys. But get Edmund and Kim, Kim, we talked about that the last time we were together, how key Kim is to kind of put a different angle on your offense. So things are looking up. Let's see what happens at the finish line. It'd be great to have a 14-game lead, but we didn't. The last time we had a 14-game lead, we got our ass beat the first round, so that didn't help. Last year, it's a battle right down the end to win the World Series. So if you're asking me, the battle down the end's the way to go because they're going to be battle-tested when they get there.
I wanted to just bring up the starting pitchers the bullpen actually, because we've been talking so much about how the starting pitching could be elite, and that's what you can hang your hat on to get everything else to kind of work around that. So I wanted to bring that up, and that's the old adage, pitching, defense, and timely hitting. You either need timely hitting or good hitting. The Dodgers had a little bit of both of that last night. They definitely had the timely hitting on Sunday. So let's move to my next topic here, Coach. It was really cool to see Gavin Lux get his ring last night. And, Gavin Lux was a good player in the Dodgers system. He did not live up to expectations of being the number 1 prospect in 2019. He was the best shortstop in all of minor league baseball. Having said that, he still was a good player in the system. He was a big part of last year's World Series championship. He left the Dodgers with 2 world championships. under his belt. And so I can say this, Gavin Lux is a lot more relaxed now. He's chilled. He's not under the Dodgers pressure. You can just see it in his face. So good for him with that. And what I really wanted to say is, whenever you're going through kind of what Gavin went through, where the fans are always on you, you'd feel like you're not maybe living up to the expectations that they have for you or what it may be. The people that you really rely on are the people in your dugout, your boys, your teammates, your manager, the people that are inside of it. So I just really thought it was cool that Gavin Lux got to spend that moment with the people that he relied on the most.
Yeah, and there's nothing like it, Case. We know it even on our level. The team every year is different. The group of guys, it's never the same from year to year. So you have that group of guys, and good times and bad, who you always can rely on because you guys are living the same thing. I always go back to think about Gavin. Of course, he's one of my favorite players, of all time. You know that. But
he's a fan of yours, by the way. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. By the way, he's my buddy, Gavin.
Yeah. There you go.
Carry on, young man. Wish you the best of luck, continued success. But you go back to think, what if he hadn't torn his ACL that year? Mm-hmm. He was going in. He was the starting shortstop. Here we go. Yeah, he tears it in spring training. Is out all year. Comes back. Oh. By the way, now you're changing positions in spring training. Get your ass over second base. So that you just don't know. We'll never know, and that's okay. But to credit to him, at one time during the season last year, Case, he was our best hitter.
He was.
He went from
in a big part of the season
trying to get rid of him. The hell, he was a damn hitting 3-hole for us there for a while because of some injuries and stuff. But he was producing. So, and think about it. We go back. We barely won the division. He's a big part of that because when he got hot, nobody else was. People need to remember that. He got hot. The rest of the team, we had some injuries. It wasn't going well. So. Big part of the Dodgers championship, both of them, but especially last year. You wish he was still there, but it's probably going to be a better move. We'll see the best version of Gavin Lux, which is really you have those relationships, those minor leaguers, because you see them kind of moving up more than anybody because you see them in Tulsa and Oklahoma City, and you work down there and you have a great relationship with those guys. So I know it means a lot to you too, but we'll see the best version of him. It's always neat to see those guys come over. They put a hat on them, give them a jersey, and they're hugging them, and Kike's giving him the old bump. He's doing the old Kike bump. Everybody put that on social media, but it's great to see that. His teammates with the Reds, it's a big deal to them too. So one of their buddies, he gets recognized for a great accomplishment.
Yeah. Very well deserved. Andy Pages, what a night. Whenever you get 5 hits from your 7, 8, and 9 holes, it's liable to be a good night. So great night, Andy Pages. Great night, Michael Conforto. Miguel Rojas got a hit, and Freddie Freeman continues to be the anchor of this offense.
Yeah, no doubt about it. He's never dropped. He's slowed down a little bit, but he never was just red hot, and he never was just terrible. He's
talking about Freeman.
Yeah, Freddie.
Yeah.
Yes.
He dropped off in some power numbers, but it's good to see the power come back. Yeah.
What's he got? 16 homers, 17, something like that. Yeah, that's dropped. He's usually a 20, 25 guy. Who knows? He may get hot and get there, but he's dropped off some of the power numbers. But as far as his average, he's still right around the league leader. Him and Will both.
Yeah, him and Will Smith are fighting it out. Yeah.
Yeah, they're fighting it out for the batting title. Nowadays. So no, he's steady Freddie. Whatever you want to call him, Hall of Famer Freddie. He's our hero, Grand Slam Freddie, off court, whatever you want to call him. It's all true. He's a big part of the situation of the games of this team, and it's never gone away, and it never will. He's played hurt. He played with broken ribs we didn't even know about. We knew his ankle sucked because we saw him get hurt not till the season's over to found out, he's playing with a rib. I think it's a rib or something, muscle in his rib cage, something that was screwed up all year, and the guy's still being productive. So, that guy has earned respect all over Major League Baseball and all over the baseball world by what he brings to the table. They love him in Atlanta still, and we sure as hell love him in L.A.
No doubt. Big night for Andy Pages and the outfield defense. Coach, the defense all in all, we talked about pitching defense and timely hitting or good hitting, whichever one you have that day. Mookie Betts made some just incredible plays at shortstop. Michael Conforto made some great plays. Andy Pages, it's that ball straight back over his head. That's the one that's impressed me, that he's figured out how to catch. I knew the left and right would be fine. He's fine there. It's the one directly over his head. And then Teo Hernandez played a tremendous right field. It's almost like these guys have heard the chatter, they've heard the noise, and they're like, we're sick of hearing this. We're going to prove you wrong.
I'm just saying we don't know what these guys are doing. Yes, they've heard the chatter. It wasn't just chatter. It was obvious for everyone to see. There were some issues with the outfield defense.
Yeah, it was the truth. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, I wish I was at every Dodger game 2 hours before, 3 hours before, watching the pregame work these guys have put in. That'd be a heaven on earth for me and you to be there 2 or 3 hours at every Dodger game to see what those guys are doing pregame. But we don't know how much work they're working on things, and they are. This is what they do for a living. This is what they get paid to do. They're putting time in on their outfield defense. The infielders are doing it. Freddie's doing his pick drills every freaking day. So these guys are fine-tuning their craft. So obviously something's got through in the outfield that it's kind of been short of as far as the outfield defense. And, man, that's a great sign.
It absolutely is. So Will Smith, what are we going to do with him, Coach? This is – you can say, well, it's just his average still looks good, and it's just a smaller patch of this or that. But this is a career trend that he starts dwindling down the stretch here. Dalton Rushing hit the home run the other day. What do we do with Will Smith?
Well, I mean that's a game that Roberts has played before. Like you said, it's a kind of a yearly deal. We get down to a certain part of the year, he kind of starts dropping off. Whether you like it or not, Rushing needs to spell him some. He's just getting wore down, like all catchers do. I don't know. There's a catch-22 there. You're going to put a rookie in there who hasn't had a lot of success. We know he's got talent, or he wouldn't be there to begin with. But I don't know. It goes back to the same old things like we used to say. Hey, what the hell are we doing to get that week off during the playoffs? Hell, I don't know. They've tried several different things. Most of them didn't work. What they did last year worked real damn good. So I'm sure if they get that, I don't know if they'll get that luxury this year, but if they did, they'll damn sure do the same thing they did last year. But it's kind of the same thing. I'm sure every year they've had a different way they attack this deal with Will. And, it hadn't really worked. He kind of has worked. I guess they'll have to trial and error it.
Yep.
The easy way is to say, well, get Rushing in there more and more and more. But, you're in a pennant race. I don't know. You're talking about the best catcher in baseball. You sure as hell don't want him out of the lineup very often.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those cat and mouse games that you just try to you chase your tail and try to figure out what's best for him. Absolutely. And then weigh that against what's best for the team. So some interesting ideas there, or some just kind of an interesting situation to monitor. Yeah. Nick Martinez goes for the Reds tonight. First of all, before we do that, Emmett Sheehan was just absolutely awesome, Coach. What I loved about Emmett Sheehan is that he beat the Reds hitters in the zone. His ride and run fastball combined with his secondaries, he was just better than every hitter he faced last night. So the defense was great, no doubt. I mean, he probably would have given up 2 or 3 runs if the defense wasn't just simply spectacular last night. Having said that, I just thought Emmett Sheehan looked just about as good as he had all year.
Like I said, he's beating them in the zone. I mean, as I was watching the game right there, I got away from it a little bit, but as I was watching the game, just thinking, it seemed like every freaking pitch he's throwing was a strike.
Yeah.
I think I wrote it down, 96 pitches, 67 strikes. I mean, good Lord. I mean, he's pounding the zone with everything he throws. I mean, it wasn't just fastball down the middle. Hope they don't hit it. It wasn't
that ride and run, man. Whew.
Yes. He was all through the zone. He's beating them through the zone. They got a couple of De La Cruz, is a budding superstar. If he isn't there already, he's going to be. So they've got some guys that can swing it pretty good, and he pretty much has dominated the entire lineup.
Yeah, that Ellie De La Cruz, he makes too many stupid errors for me. Just maybe it's only whenever I'm watching him it's amazing. You can watch a guy once or twice and he has a bad game or whatever, and you have a totally incorrect perception of him. So I probably shouldn't say that. But again, tonight for the Dodgers, it's Clayton Kershaw, the king. He has been nothing but absolutely awesome. I'm going to say it again, and I can keep saying this because I said it even before the Sunday game. The Sunday game was huge. It feels like this has the potential to be a turning point. And I think Clayton Kershaw has been a turning point for this season by himself. So super excited to see the king back on the bump tonight.
And think about a case. Earlier in the year, we was talking about when we get him back, if we get him back, what are we going to see out of Clayton Kershaw, blah, blah, blah. He comes back, and it's, in this stage of his career, the best possible version of Clayton Kershaw. Yeah. I hate to even think where the Dodgers would be at this point without him. If he
Probably
didn't,
not in first place. Yeah.
they damn sure would be in first place. They might be
I agree.
struggling to overtake the Padres. He has been that important. The new version of Clayton Kershaw. I love watching it. He knows who he is. He knows what he has to do. He knows how to do it. And he's been nothing but spectacular for the Dodgers this year. And that's something we all got to admit. We weren't really counting on that. We didn't know what we was going to get. He's an aging guy, but coming off an injury, and you just don't really know what you're going to get. Is he going to be a bullpen guy? Is he going to be a left-hander?
We knew we were going to get his 3,000 strikeout. Beyond that, It was who knows. Who
knows what she's going to get after that. And he's been spectacular. And like I said, the different Clayton Kershaw is a pleasure to watch.
I totally agree. And our good friend Nick Martinez, who has been with San Diego the last couple of years, he was with Texas several years before that. So here in Oklahoma, if you're from Oklahoma and you're a Dodgers fan, you are very familiar with Nick Martinez. His ERA this year is 4.59. He is 10-9 on the season. So, hey, the Reds, they're fighting for their lives, no doubt about it.
Yep.
They are going to be a very formidable opponent. Coach, this has been a lot of fun. We are both on remote locations, so it's been a little bit of a challenge for me. But this has been a lot of fun. And final thoughts here.
It's always a challenge for me, Case. We didn't even mention the fact, I get Terry Francona is a great manager of the Reds. So, in that dugout over there, they got a guy who knows what the hell's going on, too.
They do.
In his career as a player and a manager. So this is a good Reds team. Like as you mentioned, Case, they're fighting. They're backed in the corner. They're fighting for their lives. And they know Martinez is 10-9. So it's going to be a dogfight. It's like they always are. Hell, who wants it any way differently? But good Lord, we got the man, the king, as you called him, Clayton Kershaw on the mound. I can't wait to see tonight's game and see how things play out. Kike is going to be back in the lineup in some capacity, according to Dave Roberts. So we know he's going to give you what Kike always gives you. So it's an exciting time for the Dodgers. Like I said, hell, it's even 60 degrees and raining in Oklahoma. The dog days are over, they say, Case. David Payne from Oklahoma.
Good day. There may be a day or two here or there, but it's not going to be like 11 days in a row. Yeah.
Well, they think the 90s are over.
Okay.
Morgan was right.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. It's playoff time. So excited about tonight's game and the Dodgers. And it's always great to be with you. Love you, my man, your family. And tell everybody in G-Town over there, hey, what's up, man? Go Blue Jays and go Dodgers.
We have a great Down the Farm coming up. Do not go away. We're going to cover Michael Kopech and Sterling Paddock and everybody in between. So we have a great Down the Farm. So let's not waste more time. Let's get right to it, and let's take a trip down on the farm. Welcome to Dodgers Daily Down on the Farm. So glad you decided to stick around and take a peek at what's happening down on the farm with not necessarily all the prospects, but at least the action on the farm and who you're seeing right here. If you've been wondering what has been going on with Landon Knack, I wanted to cover him today because Landon Knack, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It has been a rough year for Landon Knack. It has not been the year that he expected to have, especially coming off of last season and, getting about half his starts at the LA level. So I'm sure, not disappointed in Landon Knack, definitely disappointed for him that his season has not gone the way that he has wanted. And that sucks. That really sucks that Landon Knack has not had a better year. But it is what it is. And it's kind of like I always say, it's like yesterday's newspaper. What's happened in the past is history. So having said that, Sunday wasn't a great start for Landon Knack, but it was a good start. 6 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. And to be honest with you, Landon has been a guy that has been very close in several different settings to having a really good outing, but it's kind of like the Bobby Miller deal where it just feels like there's one inning that gets away from him. And because that one inning gets away from him, it really makes his outings, hey, stats are what they are. They don't lie, right? But it just feels like it's not like he's bad throughout the entire game. It's just like it just snowballs like in one particular inning, and then it just gets away from him. So wanted to cover Landon Knack. I know people have been asking about him and where he had been. Rough year for him. Good start on Sunday. Not great start, but good start for him. And then Nick Senzel. This is kind of weird. Nick Senzel, he was playing in the Mexican League. He has major league experience. He's that quad A guy with major league experience on a minor league contract. Would have been the perfect guy to bring up. And by the way, he's hitting over 300 this month. He had over 300 in July. He's played outfield. He's played third base. He's played first base. He's played everywhere. He plays a good third base. Interesting to me that whenever, they needed an extra guy after Max Muncy went on the IL, they went and got Buddy Kennedy instead of bringing up Nick Senzel. Hey, it's not a needle mover either way, but it's just weird that they don't go inside of their own system and instead they go get a guy like a Buddy Kennedy whenever really I don't think there's what's the advantage of that guy over a Nick Senzel. So I'm not saying necessarily it's the wrong move. It's just really weird how the Dodgers do that. And, they did it last year with Kevin Biggio. They did it with Austin Wynns over Hunter Fiducia, that kind of deal. So it just is what it is. But, it could have easily been Nick Senzel. Maybe Nick Senzel gets a call up whenever rosters expand to 28. We'll see. But Nick Senzel has been playing good offense. And I'll tell you a guy who's really been pitching well as of late. If you follow Dodgers Dawgs as part of the Dodgers Daily Network, you know that I really like Jose Rodriguez. 2 innings on Sunday, 2 hits, no runs, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. Average against for Jose Rodriguez. It's the swing and miss, and it's how hard it is to hit off of him. Average against this month in July is 212. It was 129 in July, and so he is very, very, very difficult to hit. The ceiling is huge for Jose Rodriguez. He has some of the best swing and miss stuff in all of the game of baseball, and so super excited to see him moving forward. Hopefully he can continue to play very, very well, or can pitch very well, I should say, for AAA Oklahoma City because he has a lot of potential. So for him, the ceiling is already there. It's going to be about how high can he raise his floor, and the way that you raise your floor is you execute consistently. So we'll see if he can do that. Austin Gauthier had 4 hits on Sunday. Hey, Gator, we've talked about this. He put on some weight and some strength in the offseason, wanted to hit more home runs. He probably thought that's what the organization wanted out of him. Next thing you know, you're just not yourself. You're hitting about $180. You're striking out more than you ever have, and you're not getting any of the benefits of it. So about a month and a half, maybe 2 months ago, he said, what the hell with it? I'm just going to be me. I'm going to do what I've always done. And he has absolutely been on fire. He had 4 hits on Sunday. Look up now, he's had more walks than he has strikeouts in the last month, and he only has 3 more strikeouts on the entire year right now than he has walks. So Austin Gauthier, Gator, has made a commitment to go back to what he has always been, and it has been very successful for him. So continuing with the Down on the Farm, we're going to go all the way down to the single A Rancho level, and I want to show you the first time we've ever had Landon Vitterick on the show in terms of covering him. Super pumped to see Landon Vitterick. He's a young man the Dodgers took in the draft this past summer out of Cincinnati, and I have some experience with him because, as you know, I'm a huge Oklahoma State fan. Oklahoma State went up to Cincinnati in the spring, and in the Friday and Saturday games, Landon Vitterick was 6 for 10. Oklahoma State could not get this guy out. He was just an absolute incredible baseball player that weekend. Played right field, very athletic, very toolsy. So Landon Vitterick, it's finally good to have him on our side, my side, I should say. And it's good to see him actually get in the column with a couple of base hits on Sunday for the Rancho Cucamonga Quakes. So excited to see Landon Vitterick get his professional career underway. I have seen him in person, and I know just how talented he is and just how much he can take over games whenever he is actually hitting the ball very well. And I talk about another very talented young man, Ching-Shin Ko, had a good game on Sunday. Good for him because, hey, he's only hitting .214 with Rancho, so it has been one of those struggles for him. And so actually he's only hitting .161 this month. Those things happen. That's not the point. Okay. I mean, it happened to Dalton Rushing. It happened to Will Smith. It happened to Diego Cartaya. It happened to Keibert Ruiz. I mean, all these big-time prospects, they go through patches like this. That's not the issue. So what you're wanting to see out of somebody like Ching-Shin Ko is how is he going to respond to that and how is he going to come back from it. So good to see him have a good game on Sunday and bounce back. We will continue to monitor his progress. And a young man who's had a tremendous season in his first professional season. This is Sterling Paddock, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, 5 strikeouts, 2 walks on Sunday. Big mix, good velo, elite curveball. And how about this? First 4 starts for Paddock, of his professional career at the beginning of this year were rough, no doubt. He gave up 12 earned runs in his first 7 innings pitched as in his affiliated career at the beginning of this year. Since then, dated back to the beginning of May, he's posted an ERA of 2.99. So all but his first 4 professional starts, his ERA is 2.99. That is absolutely simply fantastic. So super excited to see Sterling